folks, welcome back to Indaba Africa. This is Chris once again. Hey folks, welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa here on the Indaba Africa channel, part of the Indaba Broadcasting Network. On a Saturday, just 1 week until Christmas. Can you believe that? Check it out back there, right there, folks. 7 days. Can you imagine that? Just 7 days. Oh, by the way, I do have my Advents calendar. We're going to get to that just after I introduce my guest. But today we have Jeanette Pretorius from, you guys know how my Afrikaans pronunciation is, but I'm going to try to get this. See, because in English, we'd look at it and go Heuning or Heuning or something like that. And in German, we'd say Heunig. That's how it'd be spelled. But in Afrikaans, it's Jeanette. I think Jeanette. I think that got that correct.
Yeah.
Yening. Okay, there you go.
Yening, and it means honey, sweet as honey.
Yeah, no, I got that. So it's Jeanette Pretorius, folks, from Yening. So welcome, Jeanette. Goeiedag.
Goeienaand. Thank you.
It is
it's an honor to be on your show.
Thank you. It is evening there. That's right. Well, for me, it's still morning. It's 11 a.m. here, so it's the nice marvels of technology. Oh. I imagine once we send Julius Malema to the surface of Mars, he'll tell us good yesterday because he'll be at tomorrow and the next day.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, well, listen, it's a pleasure to have you on. So we're going to talk to you today a little bit about your musical career, how you got into it. I think I've learned a few secrets about you that you may not know that I know already from a few spies.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see how good my spy network is. But we're going to talk about you're a country music performer. You sing in Afrikaans. You also sing English country music, if I'm not mistaken, and you sing children's songs. And there's this little thing about this BB de Blij, BB de Blij. Yeah, that's you tell us about that too.
BB de Blij, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
BB de Blij, that's my children's production. Yeah, it's my children's music that I do. What happens was in COVID, it was quite difficult, and we could not perform for 18 months. And when I was much younger, I did record some children music, but this time I felt, I'm also a mom too, and I can really make something, do something with it. So I wrote a few educational songs, and that's how BB de Blij was born. And we do quite a lot of shows at nursery schools and festivals and stuff with BB. Well, it's actually BB the Bee, but in Afrikaans it's called BB de Blij. But the children love it.
Well, that's what I was, it's BB de Blij because it's Afrikaans. But so in Germany you have the Die Biene Maya, and that's the name is Maya. It's Biene is
Maya
in Germany.
The Bee.
Yeah, Maya the Bee, Die Biene Maya, which every kid knows. I mean, even some Americans know that because they lived in Germany at some stage of life. But Die Biene Maya is very famous. So when I saw this, it kind of reminded me of that. So why bees? Is it just something from your childhood, or it just was appealing, or something kids get? Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. The signal was gone for a while. I chose a bee because a bee has got such a big influence in our nature. Without bees we won't survive. Mm-hmm. And also because I think children is scared of some insects. They don't like bees. So I just wanted to change that and to teach him that it's actually not so bad if they can don't kill the bees. There's I think there's a national bee day where they say please don't kill the bees. So that's why I chose BB de Blij.
No, that's brilliant. Well, no, the bees are our friends. It's the hornets and wasps that you want to stay away from. Those are the nasty ones.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it's thank goodness for bees. I grow raspberries. I love raspberries, and without them pollinating, my raspberries wouldn't do much of anything. So they're critical to our environment. In fact, with when Europeans colonized North America, they brought European honeybees with them, which dramatically changed the landscape and the environment here. It made possible apple orchards and all these different fruits and vegetables and flowering plants that we have here. America became so productive. It was already a productive land, rich soils, but with the arrival of the bee for the pollination, it really expanded things, and it really changed everything here. And a similar sort of thing happened in South Africa. I think that honeybees were also introduced down there at one point too, and you get the same outcome. But it's pretty cool. Bees. That's a nice approach. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. You say you perform, but are there books or videos to go along with this as well?
Well, yes, we actually have a DVD in Afrikaans. On It's a little small USB. It looks like a bee. Actually, here's one like this.
Oh, that's
and
clever.
Yeah. So people can buy that from my online shop, and and they can just plug it into the TV, and then they can watch all this. It's about 10 songs with me and the bee, and a little bit of animation teaching children about stuff like colors and your body and nature and hygiene and everything like that.
Interesting. Now, rumor has it that you were a child star. At the age of 9, you got involved in this industry. Is that true?
It is true, yes. Not 9. Well, I performed since I was very, very young. I performed I started in the church.
Sure.
Performing with my sister. She's got a beautiful, beautiful voice. But she's a nurse. Yes, and when I was 11 years old, my parents made just a little recording. It was those days. I'm not going to reveal my age, but it was like on a tape.
A cassette tape?
Yeah, a cassette. And then, at the age of 12, I got my first record deal at Decibel EMI. That was quite a huge record company that stage. And then I recorded my debut album.
Well, I don't know Decibel, but I definitely know EMI. EMI was massive in the 80s. They were huge. I don't even know if they're still around or if they've been bought out, but they were a big label for a long time. Huh.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So you sang with Chris LaRue, is that correct? Back at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we performed all over the country. Our South Africans, we like live performances, and we like concerts, and what do you call it? A bazaar. It's a thing. You would know. It's like at a church, and then they have this bazaar, or the schools, if they needed to get funds, we had the school concerts. Yeah, so I was quite busy as a child performing.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I too sang at one time. It was actually pretty good, and then this little thing called puberty hit, and didn't quite have the same voice anymore.
So you're burping.
I couldn't sing anymore. So I'd love to sing. I love music, but I'm atrocious. So and when the music's playing, the volume's cranked up very loud, so people can't hear me singing behind it in the background. But but no, a lot of people get their start singing in church. I mean, that you sing in the choir or in that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, that's interesting. So now, Chris LaRue had this thing with was it Memories, a tribute to musical legends, that sort of thing.
Yes, yeah. That's where I worked with Johan Eisel as well. Johan.
Yep.
He's a very, very nice guy and very talented.
He's all right. Don't. He's in the chat. Don't let his head swell. It's just you say nice things about Johan, then he disappears for months on end. So I'm just saying no.
He is like that. Yes. I hope he's watching, Johan.
Oh, he is. He is watching. That's why I'm doing it. But we're just having a crack with Johan there. But I asked that question because Monty Jackson's been a guest on my program several times, and I actually reached Monty in the same way I'd reached Giselle. Interestingly enough, the same fashion which you and I talked about off air. But Monty's a great guy. Monty knows music history. He knows everything about music history. Having conversations with him it's like he's the encyclopedia of country music, of pop music, of classical music. He knows everybody, and he always sings these things of legends and does tribute to them. It's really cool. That seems to be very popular in South Africa, especially with American music. A lot of South African performers love to do it. Like when the Corona series, when they do Corona 5, Corona 6, and all that stuff, they always do these legends, and they always all these performances with Jeanette Pretorius and with Juanita du Plessis and all these stars out there.
Yes, we do love covers on the shows as well. I love doing my original music, but you cannot really do a show without a few covers. That's just how we are. We love it. And I actually, not recently, in 2019, just before COVID, I recorded a Dolly Parton tribute album with David Gresham Records, and just because the people here, they said she's never been to South Africa, and the people would love to hear that music live, So we do love our cover music.
It's a strange phenomenon because honestly, I mean, I haven't gone to concerts in a bit, but I've been to many, many concerts over the years, particularly starting at university and afterwards. And for me, I go to a concert unless it's a local band or something. I don't want to hear a cover. I want to hear their music. I mean, if I go to Rod Stewart, I don't expect to hear Rod Stewart singing the Bee Gees or something like that. I want to hear Rod Stewart's music, and Bonnie Raitt. I want to hear Bonnie Raitt. Although Bonnie Raitt does great covers for other stuff, but in South Africa, it's a bit different because of this appreciation for music from abroad. I think that's part of it, and it just seems to be part of the desire, and that's what crowds want.
Yes, they do. I must tell you, I also experienced that when I've been to the US. I've had the opportunity to perform at the Crystal Palace, the Buck Owens Crystal Palace in Bakersfield in California. And what we did is we've sent the band, the Stampede band, our original tracks, and they actually learned it, and we did our original music there, and the people really appreciated that. But they love it. They like our own stuff, but they love their covers.
No, it's definitely the case in South Africa. It's fascinating. It's really, well, I guess we'll get to this, but let's get to it now. It's really been tough the last 18 months, 20 months with this hysteria and the very real viruses out there, but the hysteria that's been surrounding it, the decisions have made. It's been a crushing blow for hospitality industry, for hotels, for restaurants, for tourism, but also for performing artists and comedians, especially comedians. At least with a performing audience, you could get away with some of, like Monty Jackson's done online things and ask people, that sort of thing, if they want to contribute.
Yeah, the tip jar thing.
Yeah, tip jar. So it's not ideal, but at least it's an opportunity. Whereas, I mean, for a comedian to have a tip jar, people are laughing, they're not putting money in the tip jar, that sort of thing. Assuming they're funny, if they're funny. But for musicians and comedians in live performance, it's been very devastating, very tough sort of thing. How have you coped with that during the time? Have you spent the time focused on your family, or writing music, or coming with ideas, or what have you been up to?
Yes, my children's project BBD Bay was born during COVID. I started writing the educational children's songs, and I also wrote songs for Heuning. It was difficult. I did not do online shows. I did not go there, but I was really blessed because I think I do believe that everything happens for a reason, and I cannot say that COVID happened for a reason, but I believe in seeing the good in the bad. So my baby son was born in 2019, and I really had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with him and bonding with him, and I think if it was not for COVID, I would have been on tour, and so that was really special for me. But we had to survive. So I'm teaching singing lessons as well. So I had that side of the business, and then also I started the BBD Bay, which is children's music. So I could go to nursery schools and stuff, but we could not do big concerts with Heuning and with my own solo career like we used to do. So that was a little bit of a bummer. No but doubt. We're performing again, and I'm really, really happy about that. I'm really glad. I'm so glad. And you know what? I really appreciate every show so much now, because the feeling when there's just nothing. There's just nothing. Everything is gone. You had all these dates in your diary, and now everything is gone. So I think I really appreciate every show so much more right now.
Well, it's interesting because people ask me, they ask me, because I'm on the air 7 days a week at holidays, and when there's an event happening like the bikers rally against farm murders. You got to remember, of course, we're 6 or 7 hours behind. So if that happens at 9 o'clock in the morning, that's a 2 o'clock in the morning wake up time for me to. So it's exactly. So I'm doing all that, and I've on this new channel, because it's replaced my original channel. This new channel, I looked last night, I've produced almost 1,500 videos, 900 live streams, and about 600 videos videos over the past 8 months. And people are like, how do you do it? Why do you do it so often? I thought, well, if I didn't do it, I'd go stir crazy. It keeps me engaged. It keeps me involved.
And busy.
And busy, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. Of course, I retired from active service in October 2019, and I had no intention of sitting around and letting mold grow on me. So this definitely works well. But it's in some respects, it's not a blessing because it's frustrating. I normally travel a lot. And I would have been to Africa several times by now in Europe, but I haven't been once because of this. But in some ways, it is, as you said, it's given me an opportunity to connect with an audience out there and also get a lot. It's excuse me. One of the things a lot of my viewers tell me about my program, those who enjoy it, that is, there's a few trolls out there, but those who enjoy it, it's helped a lot. It's really helped a lot of people. That's what they tell me. I'm not boasting. They tell me it's really helped them get through this difficult time because they know that there's something reliable and go there. They'll be sometimes be entertained, sometimes be aghast at what they hear when I report news and that sort of thing. But I always bring interesting guests, and so it's helped other people as well. And for me, that's great. That's given me motivation to continue doing it. It's and I guess maybe if there's any good that came out of this nonsense with what's been going on, it's that, as you said, you got to bond with your son, and I got to focus on something that I wouldn't have spent the time on. I normally would have been traveling, flying, staying in a hotel somewhere, getting American business people to invest in Africa. That's what I would have been doing. And during this time, I haven't been doing that. So I suppose there is, if we look at it, we're looking for silver lining. There is, it may be a small silver lining, but there is a silver lining there. It's great. It's great that you got to bond with your son. That's got to be amazing because, like you said, you would have been on tour. The time you spent with your son in that critical stage when he's very young, you wouldn't have had that.
Yes, and I really saw that with a lot of families, families doing stuff together that, I think people is so much closer these days. And I think that's really actually important. And that's an important lesson that I think a lot of people learned during this time.
Yeah. So you say you're back performing, and are you performing Heuning or are you performing solo?
I'm performing Heuning, solo, BBD Bay. I'm a jack of all trades.
Wow.
No, you know what? For me, there's a lot of very talented people in South Africa, a lot of artists. And for me, it's just, personally, it's important to be versatile, also to focus, but to be versatile as well. So it depends on what they want. The people that book us, if they want Heuning, we go as Heuning, and also their budget and I'm quite busy with the children's project. I must say, it's keeping me very busy, and I'm very thankful for that.
Well, that's pretty cool. This morning here where I live at in the States, I'm a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW. It's a veterans organization. We have several of them. And one of the things we do is we give back to the community, not just for
wonderful.
veterans. Yeah. So we had breakfast with Santa this morning. And so I went there before 6 a.m. to make sure we were set up for it, and also helped last night set up. And the families come in, and adults have to pay just if 50 rand or something like that for breakfast, not much. And the kids get breakfast for free, and we have lots of donations, and all the kids get really cool toys. Under 10, the older kids don't get the toys, but they all get to sit in a sleigh on Santa's lap if they want and take photos. And so
were you Santa?
No, I wasn't Santa. I volunteered, but they actually have a guy. The problem is I'm too skinny. Yes, I mean, I'm not fat, so, there's not much here. So, but no. Plus, I've still got the dark in my beard there. It's just not all white.
Okay.
So. No, but actually, no, not Santa. But I don't know if you ever saw this American show, but when they do the reboot of Duck Dynasty, are you familiar with that show, Duck Dynasty?
Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, these guys make duck whistles, and they made this reality show. Anyway, so they all have so I'm going to be a regular on Duck Dynasty, with my beard. Or either that, or if I could just learn to play an instrument, I'll fill in the role that's absent now for ZZ Top because one of them passed away. So anyway, yeah, no, it's the beard. The beard is actually a lockdown beard. It's a civic protest.
Oh,
yeah.
Hello.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, your earphone died.
I can't hear you anymore.
Your earphone died.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. Headphones. Her headphones went kaput there, folks. So hang on. Let's see. Maybe she can get it fixed. She touched it. It must. Can you hear me now? No. The funny thing is, her mic was still working. Yeah. Huh. But
okay.
Can you hear me?
I'm
now?
going to take this off. I think there's something wrong with the.
Yeah, your earpieces went out. The cord must be loose, but the mic was still working. So that's weird.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, but it's not as good a quality microphone, but we'll make it do. You got to be able to hear me or it won't be much of a conversation.
Let me try again. Talk to me.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
You're back. Okay, wonderful.
Must be a loose cord. But yeah, that's a much better microphone because the other one's traveling over the air. So yeah,
Yes.
So it was breakfast with Santa, and when I left, we'd already had over 300 kids come in. So it was pretty cool.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
Well, especially, because a lot of people have legitimate concerns about the Rona, so they don't necessarily want to come in. Oh, you lose me again? I think she lost me again. Folks, listen, here's advice. Don't buy Chinese products. Is she there?
We have a technical issue here. I don't know what it is.
It's Chinese. That's what it is.
On a friend's laptop, we are having a braai.
Yeah.
A braai is a barbecue.
Yeah.
But a braai is on. We make a real fire with real wood.
With wood, not charcoal.
Yeah, and it's holidays here, so we are just having fun all the time. So we are. I'm in the playroom / gym /
I was going to say, it looks more like a gym to me than a playroom.
Yeah. Well, there's a big trampoline. If I move the
I see it.
Camera a little bit.
No, I see it. Yeah.
Okay, but let me try this one more time. Otherwise, we're just going to settle for the other option.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now? There you go.
I can hear you. Let me just see if this
thing is working. Talk to me.
I can hear you just fine.
No.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. That's all right. I was going to say, if it did work again, just don't touch your hair anymore. That's tough when you got a lady or a girl, and it's difficult. They're always touching their hair, so that's.
No, but I can see my hair. It's a little bit messed up.
Looks great. Looks great. But yeah. So, are you able to get a little closer to the laptop, maybe, and maybe that'll help with the sound?
Yeah. Yes, I can. I'm just gonna do it. Yeah. Okay. Is it better for you?
Well, I can hear better, but you're a little tiny person in the corner now.
You see the camera is on the big screen, and I'm talking to you on the laptop. So I'm just gonna move it a little bit closer to the camera.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's better.
Okay.
Once
again,
technology. Ladies and gentlemen, do not purchase Chinese technology. I'm just warning you, okay? No, but seriously. Okay, so we were talking about, the breakfast with Santa. So that's what was going on this morning, and I left there to come back here for the program, and it was pretty cool. Like I said, some people have legitimate concerns about not wanting, to expose themselves or concern, and I respect that, but it's a pretty good turnout considering the town is not that large, just a few thousand residents, and so having 300 children show up, that's pretty impressive. I mean, most of them are under the age of 10, so it was quite awesome.
That is amazing. And seeing, I guess, I'm seeing that smiles on their faces and the joy in their eyes.
Oh, absolutely.
It's priceless.
No, it is. It absolutely. And what's really cool is that we have an auxiliary, which used to be the ladies' auxiliary because most of the veterans were men. But this was an organization formed before or after World War II, around that time. But so now it's just the auxiliary because, male spouses can be part of it, not just female spouses. It's not the ladies' auxiliary. But the auxiliary actually, they work really hard. They work with the post, with the veterans to make these things happen. And so I was there, and there was a lady, and she's got her 2 adult daughters, and one stands by the stage where the kids sit down on Santa's lap, and Santa's asking, "What would you like for Christmas? What interests you?" And so she listens, she goes, and she walks over to the mother and says, "Okay, it's about a 6-year-old girl, and she's really into fingernails. She's got press-on nails. She's very girly." So they go in the back, and they've got the toys all sorted. They got it in shelves, and they pull off a little nail kit for kids with press-on nails, and so it's perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then other kids like, I'd like to get like little toy trucks. So they got a whole little tube of toy trucks. They bring it out. Older girl, I just wanted a game, and so they bring a board game out. It's really cool, and it isn't just for underprivileged kids. It's for all the kids in the town. It's a community thing. So it's really cool, and they really have it wired very well. The auxiliary, they did a great job, and we host it. We have a big post. It's a building. The post is the organization, but the big building, it has a bar in it for get-togethers, and then there's a big dining room with a stage on, and that's where it took place. The Christmas tree is out there, and kids go, they snake through the queue, and they get up to Santa, and that's kind of cool.
Wow. That sounds amazing. You should actually send some pictures.
I'll send you a couple of those pictures. Yeah, I'll show them to you. So, because I took some pictures this morning. No, but it's not stuff I post online because with kids, you got to be careful about what you post online now.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, this day and age, you never know. But so you obviously have a great interest in, and obviously a love and affinity for children.
Yes, I do. Since before I had my own kids, I just, a child is so innocent, and now with me going to the nursery schools, it's actually sometimes it's so sad because you hear they just want their mom, and it's really fascinating going there and seeing how sometimes it's so cool because sometimes you can see at that specific school the children are really, really happy and they really want to go there, and you learn a lot. But a child is just amazing, and they've got such poor hearts, and I think the influences, it's amazing because that's what's going to make you who you are as an adult one day.
No, absolutely. Before, let me do some admin very quickly here. Folks, thanks for listening and tuning in, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Gelukkige Kerstfeest. I think that's how you say it.
Geseënde Kerstfeest.
Geseënde Kerstfeest. Yeah. So Merry Christmas in Afrikaans and Frohe Fest auf Deutsch. So welcome everybody. You're listening to Chris Wyatt Africa on the Indaba Africa channel, part of the Indaba Broadcasting Network. It's Saturday, the 18th of December, 2021. We're just a week away from Christmas, but even fewer days away from the Chris Wyatt Christmas for the World special on next Thursday, the 23rd. And guess who Santa's helper is? Right there. Jeanette Pretorius, my guest today, will be Santa's helper, assuming that the telecommunications where she's traveling actually work. She'll be my guest. My guest, but my co-host as Santa's helper. And what we're going to have happen is we've asked for people to send letters into Santa. And so I've got a little mailbox behind me on the shelf there. Well, you can't see it now because, by the way, I forgot to say, my viewers sent me gifts. I received Christmas gifts in the mail yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Look at this. These are for my viewers from South Africa.
Oh, how cool is that?
That is very cool. It must have cost them $1 billion to send it through the post, but thank you for that. So they've sent those to me. Those arrived last night. Trying to hide.
I see the South African flag in one of those.
Yep. But the mailbox is back there, but this will be where the letters will be collated. Santa knows if you've been naughty or nice. And then inside, that's awesome. So we'll put the letters in there. I've put the instructions on the video description for folks, so make sure that you don't let your kids put personally identifying information. I live at this street, that sort of thing. My mom's mobile number is this, that sort of thing. And also ask the kids not to be asking, Santa for things. It's about writing to Santa to express why Christmas is important to you, what it's all about, what you like about it, or maybe if you want a prayer for a family member who's not feeling well, something like that. And since not many letters have been coming in from the kids this year, I've opened up to adults. Adults can also send letters in, but I've asked them to send it in Adobe Acrobat format, and as long as they appear on the show during the 3 hours or so that we're on, then we'll read it. Now, your task as Santa's helper is the letters that come in Afrikaans, you'll be reading those, and then telling people in English what the letter said. And then if it comes in English, German, and French, I'll do them. And depending if we get a lot of letters, then maybe I'll give you some of the English ones. So that's part of your responsibility there, Santa's helper.
I'm looking forward. Should I dress up like an elf?
You should. You should put some kind of cap on or something like that. Absolutely. It will be.
I'm looking forward to that.
It will be a lot of fun, and that's so. I do 3 shows. I do that one on the 23rd, which is for the kids, but everyone's welcome because kids shouldn't be watching the show without their parents present. And then my moderators are on extra guard duty that day to make sure anyone who starts acting poorly gets moored. Give them a PK and send them out of the chat so they don't misbehave because there'd be children watching. We don't need that nonsense. This isn't Tinder. If you're looking for a date, you're in the wrong place.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the 23rd. On the 24th, I invite my guests who've been on the program throughout the year, not all of them, but a lot of them, to just call in. And also I let my audience call in as well. And so I come on the 24th, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day is my birthday. And so I do a show on Christmas Day too. Yeah. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Well,
do you get 2 presents?
Yeah,
or
that's
only,
it. Yeah,
only one?
2 presents total. Everyone else gets 50. I get 2. Here's one for your birthday. Here's one for Christmas, and everyone else gets 50.
Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. There you go.
Exactly. So we got a super chat that came in from Laurie Lettinen. Laurie lives in Finland, and he gave €5 super chat. So Merry
Wonderful.
Christmas. Thank you very much. Laurie says, for everyone working with the youth, especially in these stressful times. Yeah, no, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to Jeanette when I found out about this BB to buy. It's really cool stuff. Interesting to see you doing that. Now, do you have any ambitions or thoughts maybe of writing children's books or something for kids? Is that something you've thought about?
Well, no, not at this stage. I'm actually focusing more on the music. What I really want to do is I want to. Well, we actually did translate the music to English as well. There's a lot of people asking for it. There's a lot of English schools and people that do not understand Afrikaans in South Africa as well. So we really want to reach that children as well. And then I did start writing some new songs for the next album with that, because there's so many topics that you can sing about and educate the children about. So lots of stuff like emotions and there's just so many. So but books, I do collaborate with some writers. So I did record some stories, and she gave me permission to put it on my YouTube channel for BBD Bay. So we are doing that. But her name is Audrey Ruder, and she's quite she's a very talented writer. She writes very cool stories for the kids. So I'm just collaborating with her at the moment, but yeah, writing my own books, I'm not there yet.
Well, when you do things for kids, you really need a good artist too for the book. So you need someone that's talented in that respect. Let me do a quick little admin thing here. I mean, my apologies to Herman, the IT guy. Well, it's not a big deal because he's been a member for a while, but I have membership on the channel when people want to support independent journalism. And one of the things I do as a sign of respect is that I salute them for when they become members, and also do it for renewals. And Herman's been with us for months as a member, and his renewal just happened while you were chatting there. So I always give him a salute. Now, how often does a colonel salute you? So this is for Herman for his renewal.
Wow.
So thank you.
Awesome.
So thank you for your renewal, Herman. Really appreciate it. And he has a Statue of Liberty, which means he's been there for a while. I started out with an RDP house. You know, the ANC gives you a crappy house, so I give my members a crappy house when they start. It's an RDP house, and it comes just like an ANC RDP house. There's no electrical hookup for Eskom, and if there is, it doesn't work. There's no water, and there's no rubbish removal. So we actually if they give a super chat on top of the membership, we built in a jacuzzi in the back, but we don't fill it with water because you have to get rainwater for that. So that's the first month. After the first month, they get a moai. They get a big moai from Easter Island. So that's the little avatar they get, and then it just keeps going up. And eventually, they reach the Matterhorn for the heights of the world. And after they've been a member which on the new channel we haven't reached that stage yet. After a year, then they get the galaxy, the Milky Way. So anyway, so that's the avatar. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. So it's just something we do for members. We got to do something. So, but anyway, so thank you, Herman, for that renewal. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, but you're only half of Jeannette. I mean, you've got a singing partner there, right?
I do. He's a very, very good guitar player. His dad was one of the legends in South Africa. He was a Burumasiek. Do you know Burumasiek?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the concertina. We call it the concertina.
Yeah,
accordion.
Accordion.
Yeah, accordion. Yeah. He was a composer and a very well-known guy playing that. And his son is also called Hansi. He's performing with me. He's playing guitar. He's doing some vocals, and he's a really, really cool guy. I love working with him.
That's awesome. Speaking of people who aren't cool, that aren't reliable, I mean, this guy, Johan Eisel, just showed up in the chat. I just thought I'd mention that.
Oh, my goodness.
We're just having a go. We're just having a go. Just having a go. But did you also tour with Johan at some point when he was doing magic?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Okay.
he actually used me in some of his magic tricks. I had to bend and...
Well, I guess...
I'm not gonna reveal all his secrets, though, his magic trick secrets, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, I guess we're lucky he never sawed you in half, eh?
I'm so glad. He almost did. I must tell you, he almost did.
Well, he hasn't been doing magic for a long time. He's been focused on Giselle's career, but I've been needling in, pushing him to do it, and he keeps saying he wants to go do his illusions again. But we got to get him out there. Maybe we can coax him back onto the scene at some point to do it again.
We have to, Johan. We have to have coffee, and I'll try and convince him.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely. So listen, there's if you've been to Durban, there's a street there, and it has my surname. There's a Wyatt Street, Wyatt Straat. It's in Durban. It's a very small street. It's not too far from McDonald's, the main part downtown, and there's a museum there that, and it's just a very short street. So I tell people about that street occasionally. Every time I go to Durban, I make a point to go there and get a photo of myself standing on the street sign with my surname above it. But I'm just waiting for the day that the ANC tries to rename it, and it'll be something else. So, but, it's such an insignificant street.
I haven't been to Durban in quite a while.
Yeah.
Because of that reason, because of that reason. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, I said, what's it like to have a town named after yourself? I mean, Pretoria is Andreas Pretorius, That's...
It's actually Tshwane at the moment. So
well, no, technically,
Jeanette Tshwane.
technically, that's the metro, but Pretoria still exists.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's actually my favorite part of South Africa. You probably didn't know that. People are like, well, you like that? You're not into Durban? No, it's too hot and humid for me, and I don't really care for sharks. So either the rugby team or the ones that bite your legs off. So neither one appeals to me.
You should come to Pretoria when the jacaranda trees is blooming.
I've been there many times for jacarandas.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That is really beautiful.
In fact, I was there a few years back. I came down, and my colleague was the defense attaché at our embassy there. And we were going somewhere. I think we were going to the ISS, the Institute for Security Studies, and we're riding around, and people were asking questions. I'm in the back answering all these questions about South Africa. And the people were with us. They came from other Americans from other locations. And finally, someone said, "Are you work here? Do you work for Dan?" And Dan Hampton turns around and he says, no, Chris is the world's foremost expert. And he wasn't being a smart enough. The world's foremost expert. He knows more about South Africa than South Africans do. So they laughed. But then he said, no, listen to him. Anyways, it was pretty. And that time, the jacarandas in bloom. The reason I was telling this story is because the jacarandas, they said these trees. I said, those jacarandas. Wow, I didn't know they had these trees here now. Well, they're not native from here. They're actually from Venezuela. They were imported. They're like, oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that. You're teaching me something now because I didn't know.
There you go. See, I know more about South Africa than South Africans.
Yeah. Well, we are imported,
Yeah, it's true too. Yeah, but there's a shelf date on that. I mean, you can't continue to be imported. At some point, you're indigenous.
Yeah.
But just kidding. But Pretoria, I love the High Veld. I love Pretoria. But the reason I was mentioning it is because I always felt safe in Hatfield. But now we had this cash in transit heist where they tried to heist what's that guy's name? It wasn't Leon Pretorius, but the guy who calmly, when they were shooting up his armored car did you see that video where he was shot at?
There's so many incidents at the moment, and it's just
crazy.
It is crazy. It is sad. A lot of, but I don't want to speak bad about my country. But there is a lot of incidents, unfortunately.
Yeah. No. I mentioned that because when I thought of Pretoria, I used to drive around Hatfield all the time, never think about anything. Whereas in other places in South Africa, I'd be paying close attention to who's in front of me, who's, where I'm turning at, stuff like that. But in Hatfield, I was just like, and then now that happens. I'm like, that was right by the McDonald's and the KFC there. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyway, so let's get off that topic because that's not a pleasant one. But do you, at the risk of alienating your fan base, Do you have a favorite part of South Africa, or somewhere that particularly important to you? Maybe you went as a child, or your hometown, or something like that.
Well, I love the bush field. I love the Kruger National Park. I love the Kruger National Park. Now, I actually love any game farm where you can just go. It's so beautiful. Actually, in Pretoria, there's a lot of still a lot of original trees and stuff. It's so beautiful. But die Bosveld.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I mean, I actually, like I said, I like the Highveld. I like it. And I know Northwest very well. Now, Mahalisburg is one of my favorite places. I love the Mahalisburg. It's amazing. And I've been there. You got horseback riding. You got quad bikes. You've got hot air ballooning. But I'm going to have to, I don't know, sell cryptocurrency or something in order to be able to afford that hot air balloon. It's pretty pricey.
It is pricey. It is pricey. What I also like doing is my husband, he likes hunting. So we go to this farm and we just go and watch the animals, not shoot them. And we leave that. I do eat the biltong. I must tell you, I do like the meat.
Well, have you had kudu biltong?
Oh, have you, the springbok biltong is it's the best. Yes.
Now I've got to let you know that the word husband came out of your mouth and my audience dropped by 70%. Darn.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Everybody left. No, I'm just kidding. Remember,
it's not Tinder, right? It's not Tinder.
No, nobody left. Just kidding. But Johan just said, Jeanette, the coffee date is booked, and my little girl El Jose is asking for a play date with your son. Oh. Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's very naughty.
Well, El Jose is adorable. We actually had her on camera when she couldn't even, barely even stand at the time. It was a lot of fun last year. We had Johan. He's like me. He likes to talk. So last year I did a live stream and the audience stuck with us, and we were on for almost 4.5 hours just having a conversation. And poor Giselle, she had El Jose. Kids can't be patient that long. She had to get up and take her away a few times and come back and forth. But El Jose was a real trooper, so that'll be lovely. So the coffee date's booked. Of course, he didn't set a date, but the commitment's there, so that's good enough.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
All right, so here's the real question for you. We'll talk more about the music, but this is what I care about. Are you a rugby fan?
I am.
And
I love. I support the Blue Bulls.
Okay, that's acceptable. If you'd have said the Sharks or Lions, that would have been the end of the conversation.
Okay, no, the Blue Bulls.
No, I'm just kidding. No, the Bulls are, although they're not looking very good right now in the United Rugby Championship. When Jake White came back, I had hope for them. Yeah,
unfortunately, but they'll get back into the game. We must just have faith.
Yeah, no, they will. I think that's part of what's been going on is the COVID stuff has really messed people up, the scheduling, the fitness, the training. Plus, a lot of Springboks players that play for the Bulls were gone. They've just come back. Yeah. We looked at the big difference when I watched the Sharks play recently with getting back all of the Springboks that they got back. They were a completely different team. complete. There were like five Springboks that came back to the Sharks, and they looked so much different. And that'll make a difference here going forward. But I actually do broadcasts for those games. I have a sister channel called Rugby Ascendant, and I do rugby interviews.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I've interviewed Victor Matfield, Brown van Straten, Flock Cilliers.
Sure.
Yeah. And then Gary Gold, our USA rugby coach, who's from South Africa. Lots of people. And then I do Curry Cup. I do, not Super Rugby anymore because I don't really care about watching New Zealand, Australia play by themselves. But I do Curry Cup. I do URC South Africa games. I don't do the rest. And then I also do the test matches. And what it is because of copyright strikes, I can't play the game. And so I put it on, I put my headset on, and I sit here and people can watch it on their end if they're able to. And I do color commentary and play-by-play.
Okay, well, that's actually cool doing it like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it's kind of cool. But okay, so country music. Why country music?
I grew up with country music. I actually, we were talking about Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
And I was actually laughing. The LPs. You remember the LPs?
Oh yes, I do. I have a whole boxes of them in my basement.
You do. Yeah. So my aunt had so much LPs in her house, and I was like just a little girl putting up this, and I just listened to all this beautiful sounds, and I think I'm in love with the pedal steel guitar. It's so beautiful. So I'm a huge country music fan since I can remember, and we were talking about the cover songs. So when I was performing as a young girl, I had to choose some covers and stuff, and I just chose country music, doing country music, and it's just very special, and especially with live musicians on stage with me, I love doing that.
Now, I have to say, Jeanette, that's very interesting because you had country music in your life growing up, and you gravitated towards it. My mother loved country music, and I ran away from it as a consequence.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, I think this. You know what? People here, like we were also talking about Shania Twain, and they thought it was like pop music. They don't really know it's country music. They thought it was pop music. So there's such a fine line. But I do like the traditional country music and the new country style. I actually I like all of the country genres.
Well, it's interesting because you get that, and that's Shania Twain was pop/country. That's very true. And then what's her name that used to sing Christian music? I can't think of her name here in the U.S., but she was kind of like pop Christian. And like when I I'm a big Joe Black fan in South Africa.
I can see the beard. I can see.
Yeah. Well, he had to cut his beard because he had to get something done on his face. It's coming back now, but his songs to me, I mean, they're kind of like a pop Christian feel for it. You know, that's kind of the feel I get from it. So, and that's interesting. I'm not a fan of Christian music per se. I mean, I'm in church is fine, but I mean, I wouldn't be out buying lots of albums on this sort of thing. But I do like that kind of crossover, that Christian pop. Yes. It can be very effective and very interesting. And I don't know if that's Joe Black's intent. I think it might be, but I mean, whether it is or isn't, that's what comes across to me. And his voice is just, that's whoop.
It's amazing.
That is whoop.
Yeah. Yes, it does. I think it does reach a lot of people at just a normal show and say something or and I think people will think about that, and they don't even know they're gonna hear that, So I think he's doing a great job.
No, I think he really is. Really, it's interesting how people wind up being known in Afrikaans music so many different ways. I mean, people grow up with it, people who are legacies of parents or performers, that sort of thing. But also, guys like References standing on the side of a road singing in Afrikaans, and somebody's like, "Oh, that's awesome. Who's that?" That's a guy singing. And next thing you know, he's got a recording contract. And then was it Elandre, that guy with that voice?
Elandre
he recorded it. I think he posted on Facebook, and then he wound up getting a contract out of that. It's really it's interesting how everyone comes different avenues. Back in the day, country music in the States, you had to go to Nashville if you wanted to make country music. Otherwise, you wouldn't make it unless you went there. Yeah. But that's not the way it is today, fortunately. But it is. I think fascinating how people get there. But what's been the most interesting thing for you as a performer? Is it the audience? Is it the music? Is it a combination of things? Is it the travel? What excites you about performing as a musician?
I think a little bit of the music and the audience. Obviously, when I am on stage, it's like it's like a drug. It's not that I've ever used drugs, but I think that's how it feels like if you do. It's that adrenaline.
It's a natural
going
high
through your veins, and it's such a wonderful feeling just doing what you love. And then when I started doing that, I think it was the music, but then also getting to know people, getting to meet people, especially when I wrote some songs. People coming to me afterwards and saying like, this song really meant something to me. That is a really special part of being an artist, getting to know people and to hear their stories. And so that's also a part that I really, really love. But and also the music, obviously. Otherwise, being on stage and just getting that adrenaline pumping through your veins and doing what you love, that's an amazing, amazing feeling.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I mean, in America, I can write a country song. It's easy. My dog died, my wife left me, my car broke down, and I got no money. That's a country song in America. That's easy to do. What inspires you? Because I've listened a little bit of your country in Afrikaans, and I have to listen because my proficiency is not as well as it is in German, French, and English. But I mean, where do you get the lyrics? I mean, because when women record now, don't take offense to this because none is intended. But let's be honest, women musicians frequently tend to write about getting screwed over by men or being in love with men. That seems to be an overwhelming theme of lyrics when women are song composers. And that's not a dig. It's not a criticism. It's not a compliment. Yeah. It's just an observation, which I think is pretty accurate. So for you, writing lyrics, where does it come from? Is there something that inspires you, or are you just all sorts of things?
Definitely emotions. As you said, and I must tell you, 80% of my songs were love songs before I got married. See, I was right. I knew it. And then when you get married and you grow into that relationship, and it's not all about emotions anymore. It's a deeper feeling of love. And so I still do write some love songs, but I also I think writing about hope, and sometimes you will tell me your story, and something that you say will inspire me, and I will write a song about that. So it's definitely stuff that you can relate to. I'm writing about stuff that I can relate to, or something that happened to me, or to somebody that I know or that I've met. Stories.
No, that's cool. But I was spot on, wasn't I, about the love stuff? Our women, we are very emotional. Yeah. No, but I mean, it's so. But then it always leaves me wondering. Look, I could see where Joe Black's lyrics are coming from. It sounds like he's a person of faith, and he's also got emotion in it, and I get that. And but then I look at Snotkop and I think, did he spend too much time in the club? Where's he coming up with these lyrics? And then. Look, I love this song, and I'm a big Kurt Darren fan. But I mean, Kalfat Soki. I mean, who would have thought of doing a song like that? It's just interesting for me where different artists, how they get their motivation, inspiration. And I realize that not all performers write their own music and their own songs. Other people often write them for them. But I was just curious about your thoughts on that.
There was this one when we did our first album for Heuning, and when we did the second album, we did tour a lot. And the Afrikaans people, they really love to party. They really love to party.
Yeah, they do.
They love to socky and dance, and they love the doof kind of feel. So I remembered writing for the second album for Heuning, and I was actually trying to write a song about a party song, and I could not. It was so difficult for me. I was trying to focus and doing something that the audience can relate to. And then I realized I actually wrote another song, and the song is on the album. It's called Hier vir 'n Rede, in English, Here for a Reason. And it's actually also a little bit of a Christian inspiring song. And I just realized that, you cannot choose. You cannot decide, I'm going to write about this. It needs to be pure. It needs to come out of your heart. Otherwise, it's a little bit fake, Yeah. So, that's really important to me. And I think that's why I'm doing one of the genres in South Africa, which is not maybe one of the most popular genres, but it's true. It's true to me, and I'm honest when I do that. And I think that's really important. You need to be honest.
Well, I agree with you. And whoops. Now I can hear myself. Something happened. So I agree with you. It definitely has to be. Otherwise, and I think audiences can pick up when something is contrived. They get it when it's not real, and you can tell when someone's really into what they're performing, what they've written. But so far as the country and Afrikaans, I found that because I listen to Juanita du Plessis. I'm not a major fan of her country stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. Yeah. I like her pop better. But now there's a song that gives a really serious country hoedown feel, and that's one by by Bobby van Jaarsveld and Dirk van der Westhuizen. Was it Dis wat ons wil hê or something like that? Or I don't know if do you know that song? Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
Now I got to be honest. I'm not sure if it's country music that I like, or maybe it's just the ladies dancing.
Well, I must say a lot of our artists they do use the ladies in bikinis.
Well, these weren't in bikinis; they were in shorts.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, but they do use that for what do they say?
Eye candy.
Extra views.
No, eye candy. Well, I mean, look, it definitely. I mean, it definitely gets your attention. It draws you in if before you even get into the music. But no, I'm just kidding. But that song actually kind of has that's just kind of like a country, party sort of feel to it. So just thinking about that, we're chatting there.
Yeah. Now, I also believe that the country music, especially in Afrikaans, there was a big thing about what country in Afrikaans, country music is country music. But I think it's the instruments and the style, the country style, the way that the arrangement of the song is. You get a pop arrangement, you get a rock arrangement, you get a country arrangement. But yeah, I'm privileged to do it in Afrikaans as well. So,
no, it's pretty cool. I mean, I before I ever heard country in Afrikaans, I kind of like raised my eyebrow, like, country and Afrikaans. But it's funny because when I lived in Germany, and I've lived there several times, Germans love country music too. They absolutely love American country music. I'm like, I was gobsmacked. I'm like, you all listen to country music, and they absolutely love it. They have country bars in Germany. I'm like, what?
Sure.
I thought it was something uniquely American growing up, and I had no idea that it was popular around the world, but it is. It's actually very popular around the world. It's very fascinating for me from a cultural perspective. People keep asking, please sing a song. No, I'm not going to ask my guest to sing a song. She's not even at home in the studio there. She's in a fitness room, no instruments. Come on.
In a playroom, fitness/playroom, yes.
Exactly. Somebody said here that, I think it was Kevin said his dad loved John Denver. Who didn't love John Denver? John Denver was an amazing performer, absolutely amazing performer. His death was a real tragedy, and it was far too soon. It's a shame. And let's see. I'm just getting some of the comments here. People. Johan says Jeanette is the South African Melanie Ush, which reminds me. A little birdie told me that you can yodel. You yodel.
Yes, I do. I can. Yeah, that's my party trick.
So, are you familiar with Ush die Dritten, the Swiss yodeling group?
Yes.
Okay. That's a funny story. So last year in that super long stream when Johan and I were on and Giselle was popping in and out occasionally with El Jose, we had people on after about 3 hours. I'm like, oh, can she just do some a cappella? Can she sing a few things? I'm like, I don't want to put Giselle on the spot. She's tired. She's got a baby. And then she's like, no, I'll do a few. And so one of the people in the chat said, he wrote something down. It was incomprehensible. It was an Afrikaner writing something in English, which is actually German. And so you could see how he got confused. And Johan couldn't watch. He was just listening to the program. So it was like them on a telephone call. So he couldn't see what was being written in the chat. And so I'm trying to pronounce it. I'm like, Ash, and I didn't know what they're getting at. He goes, Johan goes, oh, Ush die Dritten. I'm like, you mean Ush die Dritten? He goes, yeah. Oh, okay. So we went from, Afrikaans to English, skipping right by German. But anyway, so as a consequence, I reached out to Ush die Dritten, and they're going to be coming to South Africa in 2022, provided the, Omicron, oh my God, variant doesn't have a deadly impact. We'll see what happens. But that'll be interesting. Maybe we could entice you into showing up and doing a little yodeling at one of these concerts.
I would love that. Yeah, I'll if I cannot do that, I'll definitely buy a ticket.
Oh, there you go. Well, we're looking at 10 dates across South Africa and possibly also Namibia, maybe Windhoek and Swakopmund as well. Just depends on the timing. So, yeah, it was going to be in October, so it would have already happened. But because of the Rona, it got pushed back to next year. So many things like that. But so what have you got coming up? You say you're performing now. I mean, we're waiting for Ramaphosa to escape his illness and come back and give us the bad news that Christmas is canceled. The Grinch who stole Christmas.
I'm so glad he got COVID because we're going on vacation until early January, and then there's a lot of shows lined up for next year, which I cannot wait for. I'm really excited about that.
Now, well, let me ask this: where are these shows at? Do you travel the country, or are you in Gauteng, or are you all over?
No, No, everywhere. If I can quickly think, we're doing one in Dinokeng. We do Limpopo, everywhere. But if I can quickly think about of the dates, a lot of them are in Pretoria as well, and in Gauteng, obviously. And then, but yeah, we go to Cape Town, Limpopo, Free State, wherever we travel. We've been to Messina last week, which is very close to the Zimbabwe border. Sorry, I don't have COVID. I just have something in my throat. So the little hojas chased us away. We were on stage, and there was this, obviously the lights. And I don't know if you've been to Messina, but the insects there, if I've been there before I started my children project, I would not have chose BB Bay. It was horrible.
You would have picked a mosquito instead.
I would have picked something else. Yes. Yeah. So we do travel. And it's a lot of fun traveling. It's just the road sometimes, which is not so much fun traveling, because you need to. You can sometimes plant a tree in some of the potholes. But,
no doubt about it. I mean, and it's getting worse, and it's not just the country roads; it's the cities and towns all over South Africa. It's really sad. The roads in neighboring Botswana and Namibia are so much better maintained. They're really much better. Yeah. No, I mean, so when you travel like this, you don't have to answer this question. I don't mean to be too personal, but I mean, now do you drag your family along, or do they wait for you to come back from tour?
Well, it depends. It depends on my husband's schedule. If he's available, he loves to travel with me, but he's also working. So if he's not, then I just go and I go do my job and go get back home. But especially with my children, I took Ruben with me, and I had a show this morning at a holiday resort, and he's 2 years old now. So my daughter is 7. She's okay. I can take her along, and she'll sit there, and she's very good. My 2-year-old is another story. This morning
he'll crawl off somewhere when you're not watching.
Mommy, I want my mommy. Is going like that. So normally they will stay at Opa or Oma, grandma, or I'll get a babysitter or they'll stay with their dad, because it's just And the other thing is it's long hours on the road, so I don't want to take my children and for 5 or 6 hours on the road, and then we go back the next day. But sometimes it's nice. It's nice having them at the show. This morning it was not nice, so my husband had to put him in the pram and go and walk, and I just heard him screaming. So I think it was his last show for a while.
Yeah, probably.
He's banned.
It's not going to show up for a few months at shows. But so what are the audiences been like coming back? I've talked to a few performers. Steve Hofmeier's been out performing again. Trevor Dongenay's been out performing. And people I've been talking to, not necessarily those artists, I mean, without disclosing, but artists I've been talking to said it's a mixed bag. Because of the restrictions on percentages of venues and sort of thing, it's hard to gauge whether people have come back enthusiastically, or if some people are holding back as a concern, or if the popularity of the music has dropped. But I mean, what's your reception been like? I mean, and how do you feel? You feel the crowds are probably as big as they can be, or maybe people are holding back, or what's the vibe like?
I think people are still holding back with the bigger crowds, definitely. I think they're still scared, especially the older people. They are really, really scared. But I also experienced that people are very hungry for live music again. They are really hungry. So they will go, but I think if the COVID protocols are in place, and with this new COVID that struck us again, people were really, just because last time there was really a lot of people that was really, really sick and in hospitals and stuff, and so it is a serious thing, and people are really scared. So I think if they don't go to the bigger concerts or the bigger crowds, it's just because they are still scared. They are not comfortable yet.
Well, now as an artist, do you ever get asked for autographs or something like that? Is that something you have to do for your shows?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. But I don't see myself as a celebrity or something. I just see myself as a person doing what I love. So, but I do. Yeah.
Well, I'm very careful about my language, Norma. You notice I said as an artist. I didn't say celebrity.
Yeah. But you did say autograph.
No, well, look, I mean, the tax man wants your autograph too. So.
Yeah, true.
Well, words matter. And in fact, my conversation yesterday with the reggae artist Free, who's from KZN, we were talking yesterday about how words and how people diminish the value of words in English, especially. Yes. So, for instance, in America, you hear this all the time. Oh, this athlete is a hero. LeBron James is a hero. No, they're not. They're sports icons or celebrities. They're not heroes. They haven't done anything heroic. In order to be a hero, you have to do something heroic. So, words matter, and I pay very close to that. So, that's why I said artist, because I know some people cringe at the term celebrity, and it also has a lot of negative connotations. But it's really cool that you get to do something that you enjoy and you really love, and that's got to be very fulfilling.
Yes, it is. It is. I think if you spend so much time doing your job, or if you go to work, you go to work for 8 hours or what. And if I can give advice to young people, I would always say, choose something that you really like. You choose clever, do something that you love, because you spend a lot of time doing that. And if you can do something that you love, then it's just it's fun. It's fun. Then you won't go home and be all crappy and because you did what you like to do. So I think I'm really privileged for the fact that I can do that. I do what I love.
I think that's brilliant advice. When I was a much younger officer at my Officer Advanced course for the Intelligence Corps, we had people who they've typed conversation. Well, I'm going to do this. This is my career path. I'm going to do this. And okay, fine. We all got goals and ambitions. I had a career path I wanted for, but they're talking about, well, I'm going to take this job and that job. I mean, that's not a very popular job. It's no. I need that so I can get promoted. Okay, why do you want to get promoted? Because I want to be a battalion commander. I said, but you're only a battalion commander if you get selected, and only a small number get selected for 2 years. So you're going to do everything that you don't enjoy for 15 years so you can have one job for 2 years. And that's so the best, healthiest, most productive years of your life, you're going to surrender on the off chance you might do something for 2 years. It seems to me a very illogical path in life. Yeah. You should, if you have the opportunity, you should do what you like and what you love.
What you love.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
obviously. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, we don't all have that luxury, but if you have that luxury, you should take advantage of it. You should, I mean, if you're miserable in a job, as long as, if you've got the resource, if you've saved and invested maybe, and you've got a bit set aside, you should look for something else that you enjoy and maybe go do that, because life is too precious. It goes by way too fast.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. Yesterday I was 26. I woke up and look at me today.
Yeah, time flies.
It does. Yeah. Whether you're having fun or not, so you might as well try to enjoy it and have fun. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you forever. This has been a really cool stuff. Actually, I do want to keep you forever, but I'm not going to do that. It's just rude. But plus, it looks like the light is dipping down. It's about that time in South Africa. So from the window outside.
Load shedding.
Oh no! I was looking outside behind you in the window. I can see the window. It looks like it's getting dark. So.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the load shedding.
Oh no, then you just would have disappeared altogether if it had been load shedding. Yeah, I know.
Whenever it's much fun talking to you, Chris, and thanks for having me. It was so much fun.
It's my pleasure. Whenever I have a little snafu, my power fluctuates, something like that, I always tell people it's Escom. They have a long reach all the way across the Atlantic. They're messing up my power here. But but once again, folks, this is Jeanette Pretorius. She's going to be my center's helper as long as the network cooperates on the 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. South Africa time, Botswana, Namibia time. And that'll be 11 a.m. here in the East Coast of the United States. If you're out on the West Coast, get up early. It's 8 a.m. So anyway, Jeanette, I always leave it to my guests to share any thoughts or anything they want to talk about before we wrap up. So I'm going to put you on the screen and give you an opportunity. Anything you want to share with folks, or maybe let people know where they can find your music and where they can find BB to buy, that sort of thing. Anything you want to share. Maybe it is the festive season. It is Christmas time. And while Arctic, one of my viewers who is a pilot, says, well, it is South African Christmas show. Bikinis are mandatory. Okay. Well, for my global audience, it's because that's summer in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, it's summer.
Yeah, which for me was always an odd thing when I lived down there because it's too hot. Where's the snow? But anyway, any message, for the Christmas season or anything you'd like to share with us? The floor is yours. I'm going to give you a little bit of time or a few moments, whichever it takes, and share whatever you like with us.
Yes, I'm going to look directly into the camera, and I just want to say thank you, Chris. It was really an honor. And then all the people out there, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope I'm going to see you on the street. And if I can leave you with one message, I would say just have faith. Have faith. I know it was a difficult 2 years, and every person experienced it at their own ways, but just have faith, stay strong, lift up your head, go on. And yes, it was really a privilege. My music is on, I've got a YouTube channel for BBD Bay. It's Afrikaans, maybe you can drop it in the comments. The children music is on Spotify and Apple Music, on YouTube Music. And I also have a Dolly Parton album. Go listen to that. It's a tribute album for the people that likes covers and country music. It's called Here You Come Again. And please go and listen to our band Heuning, the original stuff. Also on all the social platforms. Listen to that. If you like it, please share it with your friends. It helps us a lot if you share our music. And thank you, Chris. Thank you for the opportunity, and keep on doing what you do. I love it. I love it, really. I'll also comment next time and watch your show.
Cool beans. Well, make sure you become a subscriber. I'm desperate for subscribers these days. No,
definitely.
No. Well, it's a real pleasure. Thank you so much. And by the way, during the stream, one of my moderators put up the link to your Dolly Parton album, or the Dolly Parton cover. So that was in there. If anybody wants to get it, you can go scroll back a little bit in the chat. You can find that. Also, Hendo, one of my moderators, who is a colored refugee from Cape Town who lives in the UK, he still claims he's South African, but he's been in the UK for over 20 years. So we give him a hard time.
Sure.
He's not really South African. We just give him a hard time. I mean, he roots for England. How wrong is that? Anyway, no, but Hendo just put your Facebook link in there as well. So thanks for sharing that. And then he also just put for Yenny, he just put the link in for that. So check it out, folks. And thank you for coming on. It's been a real pleasure. A Merry Christmas. Although we're going to see you again on the 23rd, assuming the date is there. But nonetheless, a Merry Christmas to you and to your family, to your kids, and good luck with the little 2-year-old. That's always a handful.
Yeah.
And when they're 2, it probably makes you reconsider having another one. You're like, I don't know if I do this again.
I'm done.
but we'll see you back here on the 23rd. And folks, please tune in and share the links and let people know about this. I think it was a really enjoyable conversation. We covered a lot of ground here in a short period of time.
No, thank you, Chris.
All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and put you in the waiting room. If you want to hang around for a few minutes afterwards to chat with me, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to close out immediately. If you got to take off, that's fine. Go enjoy your braai, whichever the case is. Once again, bye-bye, donkey, Jeanette. It's a real pleasure to have you on the program.
Donkey, Chris.
All right,
I'll
put her in the waiting room. Excellent. So there we go. Okay. Thanks a lot to Jeanette Pretorius, who has a town named after her. How cool is that? No, I only have a street. No, just kidding. Not named after either one of us, just our predecessors in the calendar of history. Well, folks, thanks a lot for tuning in on a Saturday. I appreciate it. I hope you and yours are having the best of holiday seasons, whether it's in the Southern Hemisphere where it's summertime or here in the Northern Hemisphere where it's a bit chillier and we're waiting for a white Christmas, although that doesn't seem to be in the cards right here in central Pennsylvania. No white Christmas except at the higher elevations. So, oh well, but it's just as well. It's no snow to shovel. There's an upside to every dark cloud has a silver lining. Anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in. Lori, thank you for the super chat. Thanks, folks, for the comments. I brought a few of them in as I could during this to keep the conversation going. But thanks a lot, everybody. I'll be on for Night Owls in a couple of hours, so feel free to tune in for that. Go back to my other videos I put up there recently if you like. I did a couple videos. One, a lot of fun with Rossi Erasmus, who is trolling World Rugby. We'll see how long that continues. Also, I did another video on the Grand Coalition, which almost nobody's paid attention to, between the Democratic Alliance and 5 other parties in an effort to keep the African National Congress out of governance in the municipal level in 22 municipalities. So check that out. I'm also in the process of writing an article to be published on Morning Shot about that Grand Coalition. So you can look for that, and I'll share those links once that article is edited and published online. So thank you all very much Feel free to go back and watch the stream from the beginning or watch it again if you like. And thank you all so much. Don't forget, we've got still coming up this week 3 Christmas shows, the 23rd, which is the big one, the 24th, Christmas Eve, when people can call in, and Christmas Day when I'll be online. And thank you all so much for that. Appreciate your support for the channel. Feel free to give us a like, leave a comment behind if you prefer, or if you like. Both sorts of engagement are most appreciated and welcome on the channel. God bless, and thank you so much. And once again, my many, many thanks. Bye donkey, kia laboa, to Jeanette Pretorius, a lovely lady, multi-talented it appears. So looking forward to her being sent as helper on the 23rd. That's it, folks. Johan, you're welcome. Thank you for saying it was a great show, and thank you also for the connection. Helped me get, because Johan helped me get Jeanette on the program. And he was right. She is a fantastic guest, and it was great to see that. I'm sorry, just looking at a WhatsApp here that was sent to me. It was just checking. It just popped into my screen. Anyway, folks, that's it. It's time to end this stream. We'll see you back on Night Owls, and we might have a few surprises for you on Night Owls. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, just 1 week to go, Christmas Day. 1 week to go, 7 days away. We didn't do the Advents calendar. I did say I was going to do that. Today is the 19th. Didn't get around, or the 18th, excuse me. The 18th. So here's the 18th up here at the top. And let's get the Advent chocolate out of there. So it says, make your list and send it to Santa. Indeed. Don't send me a list, but send me a letter. Send Santa a letter, and we'll read your letter on air. Kids or adults. There's the latest chocolate that I have. That I already had yesterday's chocolate, so I'll enjoy that. And thank you all so much for tuning in. God bless. And see you on Night Owls in just a couple hours from now. Take care, folks. And be good to each other. Take care of each other. It's a difficult world. And it's been a difficult time, as Jeanette said. But hopefully there'll be light at the end of this tunnel somewhere, and we'll see where we go from there. Cheers, everybody. See you in a bit.